Hey everybody, it's Nicole here, and I'm back with another book review. This is again one of my classics, or classic authors that I reach for, and it's another pretty decent book. So this one is The King of Torts by John Grisham. It was kind of a roller coaster with this book, and not a thrilling roller coaster, honestly, but it was a more of I wanted to get past certain points in the book, and I felt like they were dragging on and on. And obviously, if you know John Grisham, he writes a lot of things about lawyers and the practice of law. So if you're not necessarily always into that, which I'm not, it can be hard to understand. I am the furthest thing from the law practitioner. Not like I'm a bad person, but I'm a teacher and working to also be certified as a librarian. So, it's it's not it's not always easy for me to understand everything that's going on in the book, but I try my best. So this is about Clay Carter, and he's this young guy. He's a lawyer. For most of his life, he's just been an appointed public defender, so someone who defends people in court who can't afford money, for one. And it's kind of like good deed work. It's not going to pay you. It's almost like being a teacher in a way. It's not going to pay you a ton of money, and a lot of times you just do it because you want to help people. And so there's that. And he works on that for a while, and all of a sudden he gets this call from this random guy. Doesn't know him whatsoever, and this guy is offering him the chance to build his own law practice, and all he has to do is take this case. And the current case that he has to take kind of conflicts actually with his client currently, and he finds that out more so as he gets into it. So given the chance, he actually jumps at it. You know, he's got this girlfriend whose parents are richer than rich, and they obviously think nothing of him because he's not rich like them, and they're kind of pushing her to marry somebody else. And they haven't talked about marriage, but they've been together for a long time, and they love each other, but she's getting tired of it, and then, so things kind of start there. And it's just this, events, like, there's the relationship drama, which pushes him in certain directions on his job, and then his job pushes him certain directions, and he brings some of his friends from his old job, and they kind of just jump into this without really knowing what they're getting themselves into. And at first they're kind of little, and then they start attracting the attention of some of the big wig lawyers, and they're mass tort lawyers, so they kind of just, from what I understood, they take these cases. A lot of times they're dealing with drugs that come out in the market, and they're supposedly great, but then you find out later they cause, like, tumors and death and all this problematic stuff that people don't want, obviously. That was hidden from them. So they do cases like that, and they try to get settlements and make it work for them. So there's a lot of that. Where they lost me at points in time would be discussing how much money they need to spend for things, what kind of money they're going to make if they take this much or if they have this many cases. It's a lot of intense math and probability and just things that I can't keep up with all the time, to be honest, so I would just kind of lose interest. I'd start glazing over the pages a little bit. And then there are other parts where it's a pretty good story. Things get interesting. The FBI comes in at one point, so that's a little scary. But overall, it's crazy. And I think it's got, in a way, it's a cool ending because the main character, I rooted from the whole time because it's all from his perspective. And this poor kid just wants, he wants to marry this girl and he wants to support them. And he's tired of her parents, and he's tired of not being where he wants to. So, I definitely rooted for him the whole time, and there were points where I was kind of like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, but you do what you want, because I can't talk to you. Good ending, though. I enjoyed it. Probably not one of my favorite John Grisham books, to be honest, but it wasn't, terrible. It just wasn't for me, and that happens. So on my scale of 1 to 5, that doesn't really matter in the real world. I would give it more of a 3, low 4 tops, but I'm sticking more on the 3 zone because it's just got a little too much for me. But if you're interested in any of the stuff I described, you should definitely check it out. King of Torts by John Grisham. As always, Grisham's a fantastic writer, and I would definitely recommend him in general. So, alright guys, I'm literally off to go pick up more books at the library, so have an awesome day and enjoy this weekend if you're allowed to. Okay, bye.